All right, hey guys, what's up? My name's Stephen Dunn. I'm a physical therapist for 22 years. I'm the co-owner of Core Therapy and Pilates in Austin, Texas, and I am the founder of Pilates for PTs. And I wanted to share a coaching call that I had recently, and it was with a guy who is a physical therapist who has got a reformer. Recently brought in a trap table, brought in more equipment little by little, and is starting to build his Pilates programming out of his physical therapy clinic. And he's already gone through the Pilates training himself and has been incorporating it and teaching it to his patient care with his physical therapy clients. But he just hired a girl that moved in from out of state, and he had some questions on like, hey, I've hired this girl. She's teaching one class. What do I do next? How do I get her busy? What's the plan? And so one thing that we discussed was how he can basically utilize this girl as a PT aide, as a PT technician, not an assistant, but a tech or an aide. And many of us PTs were once techs or aides at some point. I worked for $5 an hour as a tech back in 1994 through 96 until I got into school. So I did it, but I did a very different type of tech job. I was doing hot packs and ultrasounds and pretty much just bringing people to rooms and doing the modalities and whatnot. But anyway, my response to him was, well, let me back up for a second. He was saying that she's working at a couple different Pilates studios and at his PT clinic, and he really likes her. He thinks she's great. And he was like, how do I get her busy enough to keep her with my place instead of wanting to work at the other places more? And I told him as a physical therapist, he has an advantage. And he takes insurance, and that's a situation that helps as well. And his advantage is as a PT that takes insurance, he can use this woman as a PT aide or technician to work with some of his clients to allow him to see more clients, to do more evaluations, to push people over into the Pilates program. When someone has worked with a PT for say 20 minutes of hands-on exercise progression for homework, and then they spend the rest of the hour with a Pilates instructor to do the functional training and the strength training, then all of a sudden that patient is really getting exposed to Pilates, so that when insurance cuts them off, when insurance is no longer involved, or when they've met their goals, they've had experience on the Pilates reformer, Pilates equipment that's going to typically promote them or push them to want to join them in some of the Pilates programs that are offered. So that was my advice, to utilize her, figure out a pay structure. She'll be working like half-hour sessions with these clients instead of full-hour sessions, and maybe some of them are full-hour, but it allows him to see more people, her to start seeing some people through insurance to actually build her cash. The cash Pilates side on the back end. So I wanted to go over that. I think that's was some valuable information. I'm a cash clinic, so I don't run my PTs, my Pilates instructors as techs, because I let the client pay a different price for us. So my price is this, and their price is that. So, but for 10 years, I took insurance. 11 years, I took insurance. I took 2 or 3 private insurances. And in that time, I utilized my wife, who's a Pilates instructor, and I utilized our staff as that technician. Paid them. I would generally see that patient again part of the hour. They would see that patient part of the hour. They would get paid a partial hour based on that. I would allow me to see more people. So allow me to go from seeing one person an hour to I would see someone every 30 minutes. So I would see someone hands-on 30 minutes exercise, hand them over, and then that Pilates instructor was seeing someone every 30 minutes as well. But those clients were there for an hour, getting billed for their insurance for the hour. So that was my response to him. Something to think about. Something that would definitely make him different than the Pilates studios that he's competing with for her time and service. And so I just want to share that because I think that might be something that people haven't thought about. A lot of people, when I talk to them about these Pilates programs, they think they have to get certified themselves. And yeah, I mean, I got certified, and that was a big part of me building the program. But I also know people, and I'm trying to get someone on my podcast right now who has built a program around hiring instructors and not doing the work themselves. So many ways to do it. There's many ways to do it. So I want to share that with you guys today. Thanks for hopping on, those that did. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Hit replay if you're watching on the replay, and I'll talk to y'all later, guys.